Welcome to episode 36 of the Travel Calumet Original Podcast. I'm your host, Rick Sense. And marking his third appearance on the Travel Calumet Original Podcast is today's guest, Sean Becker, Director of Sports Operations for Ariens Nordic Center. A special welcome to our friends in Europe who are listening to this episode, as Biathlon has quite a strong and passionate following that we hope to equal someday here in the United States. So welcome. And also, listeners, I need to let you know I am driving around right now. I'm not actually driving. I'm a passenger in this really cool vehicle. And Sean, can you maybe let listeners know what that vehicle is?
Yeah, for sure. So, thanks for the opportunity here, Rick. This is great to be my third podcast here. This is great. So we're in a snowcat, or what's commonly referred to as a Pistenbully. There's a few manufacturers out there that make these, and Pistenbully is one of the premier vehicles, German-made vehicle that they import, and so it moves snow, grooms snow. They have a lot of really cool versions of it. This is kind of the smallest of all of them because we've got a smaller venue here to work with. But I'm kind of excited to be doing a podcast in kind of my home for the majority of the beginning of the season, of pushing snow for 30, 40 hours on end to try to get our trail system up and going. So hopefully it's not bouncing you around too much.
No, it's kind of fun, and I'm glad we can make it work on your calendar even better this way. So
yeah, fantastic.
So I got to tell you, after Santa Claus, Sean is probably the busiest guy in the world with all that he's working on right now and all that's happening out here at Ariens Nordic Center. During the season, what are you doing to prepare for the vigorous schedule of events taking place here at Ariens Nordic Center this season?
Well, it always starts out like this. It's waiting for Mother Nature to either give us something to work with in the line of snow, or giving us something to work with in the line of cold temperatures so that we can start making our snow. And then everything is dictated. My wife is an absolute angel and understands that I'm not going to be around a whole lot during this time frame of the season. So it's really concentrated on when the temps are right and everything, and that allows us to first start making the snow, and then after we make it, then we got to push it around on the trails, because we can't make it and just use it right where we make it. We got to move it, like you see as we're doing right now, is spreading the snow out over the trail system. So it's preparing the snow, then getting the course laid out and situated for the different events that we have coming up. So some of the snow that we're moving, we're creating some snow farms in areas to be able to prepare for when we get to the point that we're going to get hit with warm temps and rain. We've got a way to grab more snow off the side of the trail and put it back on the trail where we need it. And then from there, getting our biathlon range all set up for events that we have. So that's a really critical point out there for snow. And then, refilling our pond, and then trying to get our stadium set up and our spectator area set up so that people can come out and enjoy watching these events from a great vantage point.
Well, it's pretty cool. I got to tell you, it's almost surreal to be out on this big pile of snow right now, looking at all this snow in front of me, and then seeing all this grass just off the course. And I'm seeing quite a few skiers out there practicing today, which is pretty cool to see as well. So there's a lot of exciting events taking place from now until early March. Can we walk through those for listeners? Yeah, okay. Fantastic. So first up, and speaking of Santa, what's happening on the 21st, this Saturday at Ariens Nordic Center?
So this Saturday we've got the Santa ski race, which was birthed. It was kind of, they wanted to do it in our first year. We ended up doing it in our second year, being open. That was last year. And so we've got Santa hats for everybody that wants one to ski the race in. And we've got high school and middle school divisions set up for classic racing, and then we've got our open division, which is all anybody that wants to ski, skate, or freestyle, and that's open to all ages. Then we also have a little kiddie race that we do as well. That's a 1 kilometer course for the little itty bitties that we provide skis for if they don't have them. So we give everybody an opportunity to come out and enjoy a day of racing out here. Everything starts about 8's registration, 8:45 is the middle school classic race, 9:30 is the high school classic race, and then we move at about 10:15 into the freestyle and classic open race, which is a 10K. in a 5K race, and we kind of put all those people together and start our skate wave, our freestyle group off first, and then about 2 minutes behind that we run the classic groups. And because we're only going to have, as long as this all keeps going well tonight and tomorrow, we'll have a 2.5K course open for that event. So it means that if you ski a 5K race, you're skiing 2 laps. If you ski a 10K race, you're skiing 4 laps. So you get to see our beautiful property multiple times out here. And then, it looks like we're going to have a little natural snow coming tomorrow, so everything should look white.
Yeah, so if you get snow tomorrow, how do you groom that? Do you just kind of do what you're doing right now with this vehicle that we're in, or is it a different process?
Yeah, the snow that comes in tomorrow is actually 4 inches, 5 inches. It's kind of more of a hindrance for us because we have to get all of our man-made snow down first. I always like cold temps before snow. The grousers or the cleats that are on the base of this machine, as you saw when you climbed in, they're pretty tall. You got about a 3-inch cleat on the bottom of this, so if you only get 4 inches of snow, we can't go drive this over the top of it because all that grass and dirt and everything that's underneath or over our asphalt, we're going to chew all that up as we go. So it's going to give a nice look to everything. We will. There's an implement that goes on the back of this machine, an attachment called a tiller, and that's what makes the snow look all nice and even and pretty where you see the tracks out there. We'll mix all of that fresh snow in with the man-made snow, and it's going to help homogenize the snow across the entire course. Like this snow we made a while ago, that snow we made November, first week of December, and this snow was just recently made, so the age of the snow is different, but when we mix that new snow in, it kind of helps homogenize all of it.
Okay. So, then after the Santa event, you have on the 22nd of December and running until January 12th is the Biathlon Winter's Race Series. Can you maybe talk to that a bit and give listeners an idea what to expect if they come out for that?
Yeah, so we ran the summer series, which is all on roller skis, and it's great. We had some events where you'd have 10 or 12 people at it. Some other events, like we had 2 or 3, but everybody comes. That has a great time. We do the same course and the same setup as we do every time, whether we have 12 people or 3 people. Now we've got snow out there, so now everybody can get off the roller skis and get on their skis. And then we see usually the numbers jump up a little bit when we do that. I think biathletes, don't like to ski on roller skis all that much with a really expensive piece of equipment on their back, meaning their biathlon rifle. Mm-hmm. So that series we run once a month, and we do that down there in the biathlon range. And we have a couple different courses this week. Our range safety officer and biathlon guru, Greg Pattison, is wanting to run a super sprint that we're going to run, so it's going to be a short course. It's going to be pretty exciting that we can put together a quality event on snow at this point in the year already. We weren't able to do that so far until January last year, so we really look forward to being able to put on a great event for biathletes then on Sunday.
So I should have asked this earlier, but has the weather been better this year for preparing, or has it been about the same?
The snowmaking temperatures were optimal for us for quite a few days in the beginning, right in the beginning of December. So it allowed us to get our first loops in there pretty quickly. So we have about 1.K done, I'd say maybe just a hair sooner than we did last year, but we haven't had, I don't want to say the word warm-up yet, but we haven't had a big warm-up like we did last year. So at this point, we've had pretty consistent skiing. We've only been closed, I think, 2 days total so far this year, where in the past we'd have to close down for almost a week because of warm temps and rain. So we only had 2 days, and we survived that pretty well.
This is really a cool vehicle, folks. We're kind of doing like about a 45-degree angle right now. It's pretty awesome. On January 12th, you're going to be holding the demo day, the Nordic Demo Day. Can you give listeners an idea of what that all entails out here, Sean?
Yeah, certainly. So, we're sitting on about 14 feet of snow right now, just so you're aware.
Very cool. Kind of like a roller coaster.
Kind of like a roller coaster. I know you don't like those. I'm going to try to keep
it's okay.
Easier.
It's pretty cool.
Our Nordic Demo Day, we have some manufacturers that'll be out here. Rosignol, Solomon. We're trying to get friends from Madison that do enjoy winter. They have a whole bunch of different product ranges that they cover. Peltman skis and some of the biathlon gloves and kinetics gloves that we do. and also Hestra. This is a glove manufacturer that we carry here. So we're going to have some specials from them. And then your opportunity to be able to get right on snow and try out their products right out from our trailhead. So we'll have the guys that are the professionals, the reps from those companies here. You can try the latest and greatest equipment out and take it out on our trails and try it out. And it's going to be happening on the same day we have a biathlon race. So it's going to be pretty exciting to have people being able to try out new gear, stuff that they normally would have to wait for one of the other major ski events that happen here in the state to get out and try some brand new equipment. We're got the opportunity with the relationships we have with those manufacturers to do that here. The Rozzy guys have been, Pete Zeller has been a real big help to us here with trying to help us get started with some equipment and helping us out with these demo days. So it's really looking forward to it.
So then on the 17th and 18th of January, you have the CCSA NCAA qualifier. Got to tell me what the acronym means and what's happening at that competition.
So that's a collegiate series race that's put on by UW Green Bay. Being that we're the UW Green Bay home course here, they come out once a year. They've been luckily last year was their first year to be able to have their own home race on our trails here. So coming back again to do it a second year. I think they have 4 or 5 other colleges that come and race here at the Nordic Center, all the way from I think St. Scholastica. We also have NMU and Michigan Tech come down, as well as Green Bay. So it's kind of cool for those athletes to have an opportunity to get out and on ski races on the trails that they train on.
So then the weekend of January 31st through February 2nd is the Wisconsin Nordic Ski League Sprint Championship. What can fans expect to see at that event?
That was a big event for us last year. You know, we had probably over 600 people a day here between athletes and spectators. We had some really warm conditions, so we had to do a lot of creative work in order to get the actual event off. As ways of keeping snow, and we had to do some salting of the snow in order to try to keep it crusting up, because we were running almost 50 degrees during the day for the events, and normally you wouldn't be out on snow at that point in time. But we were able to pull that event off with them. They've got a really great organizing committee. When you come out to watch it, it is non-stop sprint racing all day, high school and middle schoolers out here on the course. So their heats are run super close together. So it's just constant sprint action all day long. Really short course, about 1 kilometer to 800 meters, depending upon the event that's running. And they'll do skiing or freestyle skiing on one day, and then the next day they'll switch over and do classic skiing. We have a really great spectator hill area that drops you right with an underpass that we have, drops you right in the middle of the course. And the course goes by on both sides of that spectator area. So it was cool last year to see some drone footage of people. It seemed like you're watching the Tour de France from an aerial shot, where they're running from one side of the road to the other to try to catch their athletes skiing by. So it was really cool to see the venue really work well for spectators as well as for the athletes.
So then February 8th is the fat biking, returning to the Ariens Nordic Center. And I got to go to that event last year, saw a couple of the races out here. It's very fun from a fan perspective. Got people with the cowbells, and everybody's excited about that. So what kind of things do you guys have to do to prepare the course for something with the tires versus the skis?
I know one thing, it doesn't really have to do with the course preparation, but I do know that hospitality has to buy a lot more beer when those guys start coming into town. It's
That's an important one. Yeah.
It's very important. But the course is pretty much the same. When I talked with George from Broken Spoke, and he was here to look at having some fat biking out on our trails or around our trail systems. Initially, then he pitched this idea of having the fat bike open here, part of their race series that they have, because obviously we're fixing the problem of not having snow with our man-made snow. And when I said, well, we kind of got to get some natural snow in order for you guys to bike off trail, and he said, I want to bike right down the middle of your trail, Sean. And so we just groom it just like we do for skiing, except we don't put in a classic track. and they bike right down the highway as it would be. So they've got a 7.5 meter wide trail that's 2 to 3 feet thick, and they start and finish right in our stadium area, just as ski races do. And they cruise around the trail system. So a lot of the guys said it was fast and it was fun, and there's actually a lot of YouTube videos out there of racers. And the one thing I kept hearing was, man, I was working the whole time. Our trail system's fun with a lot of twists and turns, but as you're out there, you are transitioning all the time. You're either climbing or you're descending. So you got to stay active the whole time. You don't have any kilometer-long downhills that you can rest on. So same kind of thing with skiers. So it was great seeing the trail system used by something other than just cross-country skiers for that event. And really looking forward to it this year, and I'm hoping I can get on one of those bikes this time because I didn't get a chance to do it last year.
Yeah, I was talking to a few of the participants last year, the racers, and they were talking about how the first year they were out here doing it, they were still trying to figure out what kind of tire pressure they wanted to use and things. So I found very interesting how low the tire pressure goes for some of those races. It's interesting.
Well, we kept it interesting for them, too, because we ran on the man-made, but then we wanted to try to get out into our north sections of our trails, which we never got open last year because we were constantly making snow up until mid-February just to keep our main trails because of how many freeze thaws that we had and rain cycles and everything. So we ended up getting some snow right before that event happened, and we sent them off of the main trail out into some fresh snow, and so that was where they were having some issues with trying to figure out. They would normally think, oh, it's going to be soft, I'm going to run what pressure, or if it's going to be hard, I'm going to run a different pressure. And here they had the best of both worlds, so it was kind of threw them a little bit of a curveball, but I think they kind of got a feel for it, and hopefully this year it'll be easier for them.
So Valentine's weekend, we come up on the U.S. and Canadian Masters National Championships. How big of a deal is that, and what can people expect at that event?
Well, it's mainly a big deal for me because I'm not going to be out to dinner on Valentine's with my wife.
Okay.
So that's big. It's a big sorry honey type thing. But we're to get this opportunity to have all of the masters from around the country come here to do their own national championships is a pretty big deal. U.S. Biathlon has not had an event like this that was catering specifically to the Masters historically. They normally run the national race in March, and it's hard to find a place in March that can successfully hold snow unless you're up in the mountains or something like that. So this opportunity to have an event catered specifically to Masters and also to the Masters in Canada too. We're running not only the Masters Nationals for U.S. Biathlon, but we're also running Masters Nationals NORAMs, so it's North American Championships. And then the Canadians that are coming as well, they're going to hold their own championships all in the same weekend. So we're really looking forward to hosting the Masters from around the country. The really cool thing about Masters from around the country is they've seen a lot of venues. We're looking forward to getting them here so that we can get on their radar and their map for venues that they like, and hopefully venues that they'll want to come back out and frequent in the future.
So this is really an opportunity to show the course off to a lot of people that are going to have an opportunity to make it even more of an in-demand opportunity.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, totally. And the partnership with U.S. Biathlon goes way deeper than a sponsorship level with Ariens. They've been very supportive of us here, trying to help us get our skis under us as it would be, and this event is really going to create more of that nucleus of the core of the people that are in biathlon coming here. A lot of these masters are coaches for other areas. They're range safety officers in different areas, and if we were just putting on the event ourselves, I don't know that we would get the kind of traction that we're getting out of having this partnership with U.S. Biathlon. They've been super supportive with trying to get an event here for us. And we're trying to do a nationals event in mid or late March in Wisconsin. It would be very hard to keep snow, so this is great that we can get it right in the middle of February weekend before the Birkebeiner. We're hoping that there's some people that come to ski this. They're going to do a twofer in the state, and they'll go up and do the Birkebeiner if that's been on their bucket list. So give them a reason to come and do both of them. So we're looking forward to hopefully being able to help some people out with that as well, for some more excitement for them, and they're checking off the bucket list.
So then the weekend of February 27th through March 2nd, it's the World Snowshoe Championship that's taking place out here. What kind of impact does that have on Ariens Nordic Center, having an event like that here, an international event?
Well, this will be the year of exposing people to our venue. These are going to be snowshoers that, initially we wanted to be able to have snowshoeing out here, but it doesn't really work well right down the middle of the trail unless you're doing an actual race. So for us to be able to host people here that are snowshoers from not only around the country but around the world, and guarantee them, that we're going to hopefully guarantee that we've got plenty of snow here for them to hold a race on. We're really going to be getting a whole new group of people to come out here, and my understanding is that the numbers on these events for snowshoeing are very high compared to Nordic racing events that we're holding here. So again, we're looking forward to showing people our wares, showing people what Brilliant has to offer, and then getting them out on our course, and hopefully this becomes I don't know if a world championship type thing becomes an annual thing for us. Obviously, like to move that around to European countries as well, but maybe a national type event that happens here year after year in the Midwest, because we can help with the snow problem. I think it'll be great to have some longevity there.
Then the season wraps up the weekend of March 8th and the 9th with Wisconsin Biathlon and Regionals. Can you maybe walk listeners through what that event is?
Certainly. So, we've got our series races throughout the year. There are other series races that happen at McMiller, as long as they've got snow, which is down in the southern Kettles of Wisconsin. And then also at Blackhawk, which is over by Madison, where they have a great biathlon facility that's right off of the Blackhawk downhill area. And so those different races all culminate in the regional championships that happen out here. Last year we didn't have snow. We weren't able to make that event work. So we're hoping that this year we can retain it a little longer, maybe get some cold temperatures, and be able to bring out everybody from the region. We usually get about 75 or so athletes, and we have 2 days worth of racing, biathlon racing at that point in time. So it'll be great, because a lot of those athletes on the Masters side will already have been here a couple weeks prior to that, racing in the Nationals. They can come back and show off their abilities then to the rest of the region.
Well, Sean Becker, thank you for being our guest on the Travel Calumet Original Podcast. Always great to sit down and actually help you do your job, even though I'm not really doing much, with you out here on the course. And it's exciting to see all and hear all the wonderful things that are happening out here at Ariens Nordic Center. If you haven't had a chance to get out here, I can't stress enough how great of an opportunity it is to just really sit back, family-friendly. You want to see some great racing, some really fun outdoor winter activity. You just got to come out here. It's just really a thing to behold. And it's really funny. I'm going to kind of bring up, this isn't just a winter venue, is it?
No, it's definitely not. The summer activities that we have out here, from roller skiing to we've got a pond that's in our snowmaking. We got a beach that's on our snowmaking pond, and you can go up there and, on a nice day and lay out on the beach and swim in the pond, and then. Hopefully, we've got some plans here for getting some mountain biking happening here, and that's something that hopefully this next season will materialize. And also, we've got pickleball courts up here, so you can come and play some pickleball. And a lot of the Wednesday nights, we're just open on the patio. We've got some food options, and they have a bar out there. And so Wednesday nights, usually during the summer, you can come out, even jump into a take a shot class that Greg Pattison runs here, where you can come and try out biathlon, and then afterwards you can go grab some food and grab something to drink. Got to do it in that order, though, unfortunately. But it's another opportunity that we have during the summer. So definitely welcome people out. And, can't thank you enough for supporting us here, Rick, with your podcast, and having us on all the time to discuss what we have going on. And in the community here, it's really important to have people like you that are willing to get behind us and help us out with these sort of things, and actually recognizing that what we're doing here is we've got some good opportunities for people. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, you got to get out here if you haven't been out here. And do yourself a favor, and it's year-round. So come out and enjoy, whether it's in the winter now, which is the really great fun time to see with all the snow, or if you come on out here and do some of the fun activities. And who knows, there might even be an event like Jason Aldean once upon a time like we had out here already. So that's always a great opportunity. So make sure to check out this and the other 35 episodes of the Travel Calumet Original Podcast by clicking on the microphone on the homepage of the travelcalumet.com website. And if you like what you heard today, please tell and share with some friends. Reach out to them, text them, say, hey, listen to the Travel Calumet Original Podcast. Share the link with others once it's out there. It's just a great opportunity for us to share and expose the rest of the world to the wonderful, really cool things happening here in Calumet County. So thanks again for listening, and until next time.